So super excited to be here. So this year, this 10 and a half months, we have been home a total of 17 days. So we have a home in Dallas. It's really just an address. We have been to 9 countries, 17 states, 33 cities, 17 live in-person events, masterminds, 5 virtual events, have invested over almost $700,000 in coaching and masterminds, and while surpassing $10 million back in May. Before we get started, I just really wanted to thank this amazing peer group.
Yes.
We wouldn't have done it without you guys. We took a little bit from everybody, who you guys are, what you guys do, how you guys do it, and really implement it, be the best student possible. But what I want to share with you, our give today is, I want to walk through this lifestyle is by choice. We chose to live this way. And I want to take you guys back to the moment in time when we made the decision to live this way and how we did that. Is that okay? Okay. If you are ready for freedom, say, I am. Yes. If you want to achieve freedom, say, I do.
I do.
Cool. So, real talk though, our life didn't start this way. 2018 was the worst year of our life. After building our business for 13 years, working hard, I made some really aggressive decisions, and I lost $5 million. Tough year. Going into 2019, there was an event that was going to be happening in Los Angeles called UPW. And at that time, not only did I lose $5 million, but we lost ourselves. So in my wife's eyes, I lost myself. So UPW is in California. It was in February, end of February. And she says, you know what, so he's broken, obviously. If I can't fix him, and if Tony can't, no one can. So,
You're right.
Yeah.
We'll pick a session a little bit.
So this is truth, right? She literally bought us a ticket to UPW to fix me. So we go to UPW, and she realizes she's also the problem, right? And I as well found out that I definitely was the problem. Regardless, we woke up. It felt like we were sleepwalking. And all of a sudden, I'm awake. I'm like, what did I do with at that time, 44 years of my life? I'm like, what is going on? So anyways, we woke up, we came home, so we knew now what type of life we didn't want to live and what type of life we want to live, right? So that was the start of everything. And then we went to business mastery, and we also woke up some more and realized that, oh my God, 13 years of entrepreneurship, we weren't really entrepreneurs. We were business operators, not business owners. And we realized, again, what type of business we wanted. And then we came back from business mastery, and it was a Saturday. I went back to my usual business. I was working in the office. My wife says, hey, do you want to go to lunch? It was a Saturday, or dinner. I was like, cool. But it was something different about this talk, right? This dinner. I was like, something's different. So we go to dinner, and she sits across from me, and she says, I don't think this is working. Give me her ring back. And I'm like, what is going on? What? I just got hit with a ton of bricks. And she goes, and by the way, Monday I'm leaving, going to Singapore and taking the kids. I'm like, what is going on? So I'm like,
fast implement.
And I'm like,
that's what
I'm like,
say.
my God.
That is better
so I'm like, Tony Robbins, because of Tony Robbins, right? And I'm like, man, we sat through 2 events for Tony at Tony's event, getting cussed at him. Now I'm cussing him out. So she leaves, and it was actually the best thing that happened to us. She needed her 30 days in Singapore. I needed my 30 days. And there was something that I listened to driving into work out one day. Tony said, when things happen to you, it either crushes you or creates you. I was like, that's it. This is going to create me. So I went through this whole massive transformation. I was pretty heavy back then as well. I had lost 35 pounds. I was pretty heavy. I got on the scale and looked down and said, get off. You know what I mean? Like I weighed about one fat kid. So she comes back from Singapore after like almost 30 days, about 28 days. And she gets in the car. You guys ever seen that commercial, old school commercial, where that kid, where these two other kids or whatever, they give him this bowl of cereal and then he eats it. And they're like, Mikey likes it. Mikey likes it. You ever seen that? Remember that? So she gets in the car and that's her look. And this whole transformation for me, I'm like, yeah, mommy likes this. Mommy likes this.
I don't remember.
But she was still like, she was hurt, right? She was hurt. She was resenting what I just did. And so she held back a little bit. But I knew she liked the transformation that she saw, right, in me. New attitude, new moves, looked better. I was about 35 pounds lighter. So that moment, she was a little cautious still. So she's like, maybe we can try to make this work, right? So we went to Date with Destiny that year. This is end of 2019. All this happened in 2019. So we go to Date with Destiny, and I found out that we have these primary questions that we ask ourselves, right? And been asking the wrong question. Both of us have. What do we do next? How do we be successful? All these things, right? And I changed our primary question to ask, because we knew what life we want, what business we want to build, and how we want to live life. So the primary question changed to, if time and money was not an issue, how would we be living? Phenomenal question. That totally built the life that we have now. So that decision, literally in end of 2019 at Date with Destiny, became catalyst for us to live the way we are now. And the answer to that question is, we wanted to be a couple and a family to be able to go where we want, when we want, stay as long as you want, bring as many people as we can. That was our life. That's what we considered freedom. So that's what we came up with this framework. It's called the Freedom Framework, right? And the very first step is strengthen your imagination. And what that means is this. We, for the 13 or 14 years at that time, our business was priority. How many of you guys, like, your business is your identity? Yes. Everything's there, right? Your business, the success of it, like everything, right? You being enough, your business. And I had just lost everything that I worked hard for, so I failed miserably, and I was the biggest loser ever. So when we asked that question, we changed our answers, and strengthening your imagination is basically designing your dream life first, right? So this becomes our why. This is who we want to be, where we want to go, who we want to be with, what are we doing in the world, how we want to live. So that's what we did. So that's how we came up with go where we want, when we want, stay as long as we want, bring as many people as we can.
One thing that Myron really helped us with this year when we're in his VIP program is that he really talked about the awareness. Everything is actually available around us, where I believe that we're technically in like a buffet, like we're in a buffet line, but we didn't realize it. So we only pick and choose what we can eat, but you can actually have it all. So all we need to do is figure out the awareness. That's why we started to get into a lot of coaching, because I think this mastermind, everybody take just one nugget, and that nugget can 10x or 100x where you are, but just by that one knowledge. And so for me, I'm really big with the be, do, have to. Be you. Who are you? Before, when I was 38, I would just be whoever that everybody else wanted me to be. Be a good daughter, be a good wife, be a good whatever sister, whatever that is. I never asked, who do I want myself to be? That's the reason why I started to wear it sparkly, because I used to want to just be on the wall and please don't talk to me. You're not seeing me. And now I was like, no, I want to be seen. Like, I want to help other people to get unlock of what it is. But again, it comes back to imagination. Do you have the imagination? Like when we are hanging out with Myron on private jets, I have no imagination. I will get on my private jet next to Myron with all people. And I remember the first time I talked to Myron, I don't really understand your English. He didn't say that, but I can see from his face. And now, we're doing pretty good. Myron, are we doing pretty good now? You understand my English now?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
See, that's my imagination, right? What doesn't believe it's positive or negative. That's all my imagination. So strengthen your imagination.
Yeah, strengthen your imagination. Your takeaway from this is ask yourself that question, right? What we did. If time was not an issue, time, money is not an issue, how would we be living? So for your takeaway is, what does your dream life look like? It may not be like us where we travel so much and all that, but to us, we're living our dream life. We have houses in multiple countries now. We didn't have that. And the reason why strengthen your imagination has to be the first thing is because it becomes the foundation of everything, right? Here's a good example. I'm going to share a tool that, since we know what freedom looks like, go where we want, when we want, stay as long as bring in as many people as we can. That was our main decision. And every decision after that is all based on that first decision. So here's a good example. Alexander was, at that time, he was 4 years old, and he wanted to go to school early. So we went to visit 3 private schools in Dallas, the top 3 Christian schools. And when we visited third school, we came home and was like, wait, we made a decision. We made a decision that we want to live this way. So taking Alex to school, this decision that we need to make, does it contribute or does it contaminate our freedom? And unfortunately, we couldn't take him to any schools because it would have contaminated. We wouldn't be able to go where we want to stay as long as we want. So we decided to homeschool him. Same thing with our VA business. At that time, we both launched our business after going to Funnel Hack Live. So after Date with Destiny, after asking ourselves that question, we now know what our dream life looks like. And we also made a decision of what our dream business looked like. So then we just needed to know how and the who to teach us. So that's where Russell came in the picture. So 2019, we hear about Russell, and we're like, oh, it's amazing. So he's selling tickets to Fun Hack Live in 2020 into Nashville. So that's when we bought the ticket to Fun Hack Live so that we can do the second part, which is build our dream business to fund and fuel our dream life. So that was the decision. So we said, what business do we need to be in, right? We said, okay, we need to be in the online business. That makes sense? So that was another easy decision, what business we're gonna build next. One of our friends offered us to join their business during that same time. He bought an insurance company, a mortgage company, a title company. He already had a real estate business, and it's an 8-figure business. And he knew that me and Phyllis were going to played such a vital role in their growth that we were actually going to walk into an 8-figure business right away with them without any investment, because they knew the value that we would bring to the partnership. Same thing. We said we made a decision, so let's go back to that main decision and say, if we do this business with them, does it contribute or contaminate? And the unfortunate part is it contaminated it. So we said no. So every decision we've made is based on that one tool that we now use to make decisions. So second, we said, okay, we now have this strength in our imagination, what our dream life looks like, then scale your income generation, which is our business. What's our dream business look like? And that's where we decided to go, this is your what. So now what business do we need to be in? What do we need to run? Right? What are we selling? Who are we selling to? Why are we selling it? Where are we selling it? When are we selling it? And how do we work with clients when they say yes to us? Those are the questions that we asked during our dream business. And that's where, like I said, that's where Russell came in, right? We bought a ticket. We said, okay, we know what our dream life looks like. We need to build a dream business to fuel and fund it. So we bought a ticket to go to Funnel Hack Live. And that's where we learned this online business. At that time, I was crushed. I was a big loser, like everything, right? So I needed to be in the room to give myself permission to be successful again. The 2 comma ceremony like literally changed my life. Because I stood there, she took a picture of me, and I was watching it, and just like Russell said, hey, if you haven't won, be in the room, cheer people on. And I was like, yeah, cheer people on. But I was actually pissed off at myself at the same time. But it changed my life so much because there were 2 things that I changed that day. One is I gave myself permission. I said, if these people can do it, I can too. And second, I changed my pattern. because the thing that wasn't serving me was trying to figure it out on my own, was not getting it done. I was like, and if these people came through that program, at that time was a 2 Comma coaching program, if these people came through that program and they're now walking the stage, that I need to make a decision now to buy that program. So that's what happened to me. So, dream business. Anything you want to add?
You can go to number 3.
Yeah, good. So we learned how to build a business to fund and fuel it by then asking ourselves questions, or learning that day was, what do we want to sell? Why do we want to sell it? Because again, people don't buy what you do, people buy why you do it, right?
And I think this part is like, just really own you. Who are you? And by the way, congratulations, everyone.
Yes.
We are no longer in the survivor mode. We're actually in the thriving mode. If you haven't upgraded your identity yet, like people here are not, you do no longer have to worry about food, shelter, electricity bill. Like, we are good. Like the last time when I was working on a project with my friend, it's like, my friend has no longer need to work anymore, but her limiting belief is she might still be homeless. So we're like, wow, everybody need to upgrade that. So by the time you're in here, you're officially like no longer in the surviving mode. So right now you're in the thriving mode. So who do you really want to be? What kind of business do you want to do? Don't force yourself. Like, I love Russell and Myron, but they're totally two different energy. But when I ask Myron, hey, would you do what Marshall do? No, because I'm going to do it Myron way, right? I want to go golf. I'm going to do a 5-day challenge, not a 3-day event, right? All that stuff, right? Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And I really like that because I used to be I want to be the best copycat, right? I want to go learn and model after and then be that person. And then now I'm like, okay, but does that really serve me? Do I really like that? Is that my energy? I told Richmond that, hey, you're the fastest person to implement. I'm technically the slowest one. I just want to really think it through. And with my past bad experience, I really want to make sure that it really works before I implement, because we have that $5 million failure. So I want to make sure that it is close to perfect before I do it. I shouldn't say that here.
So for us, our dynamic of our relationship is really neat because for us, there's a war between be and do to have. She, with her life, everything happened, plus me losing, she's, I need to be first. We got to get it right. We got to get perfect before we launch, before we do something. That's her. For me, it's like, no, we got to do, because when we do, we're going to learn more. And then you become, in the process, both of it is the same thing. We want the same thing. We want to have the same thing, right? So after you know your why, which is your dream life, know your scale, your income generation, which is your what, then the third step is systematize your implementation, which is your how and your who. Because I believe that most are information rich, but implementation poor. Because learn all those things without implementation, all that self-help that you try to do becomes shelf-help. So how and who, how is your platforms that you use, like social media, your programs, your processes, and then your who's are, in our case, leverage. So for us, we believe in leveraging, and you may not use VAs to leverage, but it might be a local team, but learn how to leverage people, right? So that you can buy back your time, so that you can stay in your lane and you're able to scale and you're able to do what you're called to do better, because you're leveraging people to do the things that either you shouldn't do, don't know how to do, or really just, you're not good at it, right? Somebody's better than you. So our vehicle is VAs, as you guys know, and only in one country, which is the Philippines. And there's also a why, a driving force because of that, because the way Phyllis grew up around Filipino maids in her country, she wanted to keep mothers home in Philippines instead of having to leave their country to go work in Japan or Singapore or things like that. So she has a whole driving force of her why, of why she built this business as well. But yeah, so that's, you systematize your implementation with the hows and who's.
I know my name is Phyllis, but I'm not from Philippines. But I have a Filipino maid that raised me because my mom ran a Filipino maid agency for 40 years, just FYI. And the reason why we use Filipino is because everybody's using them. The big company have used them for 10, 20 years before we even use them. So they're just a lot easier to integrate, and their culture, they're more like Christian and all that stuff. So we like them. Not that we're not open up to everything else, but right now that's where we focus because it's already enough for us. And again, if you are a solo entrepreneur, you don't have a team, this is what I want you to practice, okay? You want to put your two hands in the back as if you're getting tied up. Because whenever something goes wrong, you really need to let them fail. Let your team fail and let them really figure out why are they failing. Is it me? Is it you? Is it the system? And you consistently reviewing it. Because a lot of times people say, oh my gosh, because business owners are usually people pleaser too, just FYI. So the people that go through my program, it wasn't successful. Either they just wanted to hire somebody that just like them, which is not possible. Or whenever something screwed up, they just like, you know what, let me take it back and do it. Or they just don't really want to point out what is really going wrong. And I always say, no, you have to point a finger. What is the one piece that is wrong? And then, is it my fault? Is it your fault? Is it the system fault? And after that, you fix that one thing and you let it run again. And if you run well, then you let it go. As a business owner, I love what Myron just created this on the Mastermind in the Sky is everything costs the same time, right?
Costs the same amount.
Yeah, costs the same amount of time. Because for me now, after I know how to delegate, how to leverage, right, it costs me the same time as putting this PowerPoint together because I just tell my team, hey, make something together with all my pictures and this is done. And cleaning my house, cooking for my husband, writing a love letter for my husband. It all costs the same time because somebody else is always doing it for me. So I got a lot more time.
That's fact. I came into her office super excited. I saw this beautiful post. I was like, oh my, it melted my heart. I ran in the office, give her a hug, give her a kiss. She's got this deer in headlights. What just happened? And I said, this post. Then I was walking out of the room. I felt it. I'm like, I turned around. You didn't write that, did you? She goes, no. It's her VAs. But so our give to you guys today is, strengthen your imagination is like really sit down. If you haven't asked yourself a different question of like, how do you want to live? Who do you want to impact? Where do you want to go? And how do you want to do it? All of that stuff, design that first. And then go and look at your dream business. What's a dream business that will fund and fuel this? Right? That I can get up and be super excited, be in love with it, right? Because I have this rule where I say, you got to be in love with why you do it. You got to be in love with what you do. Be in love with who you do it with. You got to be in love with how you do it. You got to be in love with your ideal clients, right? All those things. You got to be in love. Otherwise, it's just income. We're just waking up generating income. And I think that, just like Tony says, the biggest failure is success without fulfillment, right? And then, so design your dream business and then systematize your implementation. Get the how of how to do it, be very clear, and then find your who's. And your who's are your teams that you leverage, right? And coaches that you leverage as well. Like this year, we knew that we wanted to get us to that next level. We needed to create a high ticket offer, which we did. And we joined Myron's coaching program, and it helped us create our $50,000 and $100,000 offers and get clarity around what's in it.
We are kind of like the byproduct of the $100 challenge. Call it the $100 challenge.
So that's our give to you guys. That if you can take these 3 takeaways and just really design your life, design your business, and systematize your implementation so that you know how to do it and who you can leverage. Thank you.
See, my husband is perfect, right? See? So bright and shiny, so perfect from top down. I can stop our house.
Ask is, so we launched a offer, 2 offers actually, a $50,000, $100,000 offer. And we just wanted to get your feedback of what your thoughts are about the offer, right? Is there anything missing? Is there something that we should put in there? So our $50,000 offer, the reason why we created was this. So I do business coaching. I do a lot of strategies, tactics, and Phyllis has always been a VA business and finding people build teams, systems and processes and technology, to-dos, teams, things like that. So I saw a pattern. I said, my God, you can find the business owner, the best team in the world, the best people in the world, unless the business owner themselves know what they want, right? Know their outcome, like literally have clarity. And if they don't have clarity, they're going to have confusion. And it's going to confuse the team, and it's going to frustrate everybody. And that's why it doesn't work. So I started seeing teams that were performing really well. And then I looked at the business owner, and I realized, the business owner is amazing. They know what they want. They know who they're selling to. They know what they're selling. They know why they're doing it. They know, where they're making their offer. They know when they're doing it. All of that stuff. So a team comes in and helps the business owner scale. So we created an offer to coach the business owner on how to actually design both their dream life and their dream business. And it's a group coaching. So Tuesday, they hop on a call with me just on business strategies and tactics. And then on Wednesday, they hop on with Phyllis, all the to-dos, the tech, and the teams. So that's our $50,000 offer.
And we also provide
10 VAs.
Yeah.
So with that
you can hire
comes
up to
10
10 virtual assistants with unlimited replacement. Because again, when you're a solo entrepreneur, you have to practice quite a few times before you really get the right person in the right position, right role.
Yeah, and no activation fee or placement fee, activation fee. If they go with that offer, then we don't charge them any activation fee. We will find, hire, train up to 10 VAs. So that's that offer. We'd love to hear your feedback.
I thought it was really good.
Yeah. Good.
Just one up. Thank you.
Hey, Peter.
Hey, Angel. So this isn't really to your ask, but I've had the privilege of watching you guys, and what I would just offer you the opportunity to speak into is some of the harder times when sis you were sick, and
Yeah.
I would offer you the opportunity to speak
100%.
into that because this survived
Yes.
that,
Yeah.
and most people would have crumbled. And my actual question was, is it 50K one-off or 50K a year? That was my...
Yeah, the 50K, was born from that, quite honestly, because in 2023, at the beginning of 2023, after setting our goals, literally like January 1 comes, I decide with a group of friends from Tony Robbins Platt, they was like, let's go climb this wall. I'm like, cool. So we go climbing, we go rock climbing, this brand new indoor park, and we're climbing it. First wall, totally nothing wrong, we came down, no issues. So rock, paper, scissors, I become the first person to go climb the second wall, which is the hardest wall there, the 50-foot wall. And I climb up and I get 40 feet. And I'm like, I can do it, I can go to the last 10. I was trying, I couldn't make it. I was like, oh, and I was trying, and something told me not to try. Like, huh, what was that? So anyways, and then I was ready to push off, and something also told me not to push off like I did on the first wall. So like, oh, that's weird. So I stood there and I grabbed the rope and I just pushed off a little bit, just like this, just to go straight down. And 40 feet. Busted my whole spine. I was on the floor in pain, but I knew everything was gonna be okay. I just knew it. But we survived that, and Phyllis had to take care of me for almost a year that year. But our business ran with our
Yeah,
VAs,
I wanna
and it
give-
grew. We're like, oh,
Yeah.
that's nice.
And I want to give prop to Monique. I think Monique is under Phyllis' song right now because she said, hey, don't worry about the business.
Yeah,
You know what, take care of it. So they run all my...
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
So cool.
And we do appreciate Russell and all the coaches and the peer group in this room because, yeah, 2019 was tough for me, for us. We almost,
And he's back, yeah, he's back.
I want
and I
to.
do believe that this community and Tony's, the two communities that I joined at that time, like literally, we just lost $5 million. We walked into Date with Destiny, and he made an offer to join Platt. We're like, oh, my God. But I just knew we had to do it. And then when we went to your event, Russell, we're just like, we got to find a way. We just got to do it. Because I knew that it's okay to be there, but it's not okay to stay there. And I knew I needed a different family. So thank you.
I just wanted to give one quick thought on the offer because when you first said it, I was like, "That's cool," but it wasn't like I wanted to buy it yet. And I was like, what would make me want to buy this? And I was thinking like, if it was more specific to a thing where you're like, because I think 50 grand, you're going to build out a team of 10 people for me, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't know what to do with those people. But if you're like, you want to dominate YouTube, we're going to build out your team of
Yeah.
editors, or you want to figure out your customer support, or you want to, if it was packaged almost like a
that.
department,
Yeah.
then I would pay 50 grand for each department. I'm like, okay, I need a support team, go, figure it all out. Okay, we want to do YouTube shorts, whatever. I need an editor, a thumbnail person, and then build that. And like that, then I can see myself buying multiple times a year, even at 50 grand, just because it's like, you're building
Yeah.
out these individual departments for me versus just like more of a vague, I'm going to have a bunch of people, you know what I mean?
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
yeah.
that.
Yeah, we do on the coaching, we focus on kind of 4 areas, which is traffic, leads, sales, and deliverables, right? So when clients say yes to you, so we do have a shell of what's in that 50,000.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is go a little bit deeper on each.
Especially the bigger brands, people are going to be easier to write that check. You could come in and be like, hey, we just systemized LinkedIn. You need 3 LinkedIn people and you can crush. How many guys want LinkedIn? Okay, it's 50K. We'll build out your team of 3 or 4 people. We'll install the system, like probably get 10 people just to give you 50K. Now, oh, we'll have LinkedIn now, let's go. And then a month later, like, hey guys, we built out the system for shorts. Anyway, that's what would get me to be like, oh, I'm struggling with LinkedIn or YouTube or this thing. And then that would solve the problem really fast.
Awesome.
So.
Anybody else? Thank you, Russell.
Love it. Thank you. My
guys.
husband is perfect. Okay, can you get it on the camera? My husband is perfect.